Hello everyone, this is Sophiana and I'm continuing my series on paganism and witchcraft. I hope that this finds you well, and I hope that you have enjoyed the videos so far, even though there's only been two. Today I would like to discuss the meaning of paganism and witchcraft, and also the misconceptions attached to both. There are quite a few. I would like to start with paganism by defining it. Paganism is any religion or belief system or philosophy that would correspond to what the ancient pagan cultures used to believe. A lot of the common things you might find in it is reverence for nature, even going as far as earth worship, which isn't necessary, but it happens often. Focusing on the cycles of nature and the cycles of life, death and rebirth. Reincarnation is a common thing. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, but it seems to make sense on some level. I'm undecided, but a lot of pagans do believe in reincarnation. And polytheism is a pretty big part too. Belief in multiple gods in really any sense, or just different facets of the same god is pretty popular as well. Some things that we are not. We are not devil worshippers. Most of us don't believe in the devil or any one absolute entity of complete evil. Nature is both good and evil. There are well, I wouldn't say good and evil. There are dark sides and there are light sides. And we, as pagans, try to maintain a balance of both in order to be fully completed, I guess you could say. Not all of us are pot-smoking, unwashed hippies. Many of us have liberal political ideas that might be considered hippie-ish, such as environmental concern, animal rights activism, civil rights activism. Environmentalism is probably the biggest agenda you'll find. Within Wicca, women's rights are really big, but that's, once again, that's not necessarily... no pagan has the exact same political ideas. But most of us are upstanding individuals that function in society, and we don't belong to a hippie commune. Some do, I'm sure. And it's definitely a hippie-friendly religion, but it's not necessary. Another thing is we don't do sacrifices of humans or animals. No blood sacrifices. Well, very few happen in America, I can tell you that. Since it's illegal to kill people, we don't do that, and very few people do animal sacrifices. That's largely outdated. Neo-pagans today generally do food sacrifices. They might use wine in the place of blood, or they might sacrifice parts of plants such as flowers or fruits or other things like that. But those have largely replaced the human and animal sacrifices of the old religions. Now, we might still use our own blood. Some people do, very little amounts, say in a glass of wine, maybe a drop of blood or something like that. But that's fairly uncommon as well. You don't hear about it very much. Also, we are no more of a cult than any other religion on the planet. Any religion can be considered a cult, but we don't have any centralized seat of power. We don't have any uncommon loyalties to any group. It's not a cult by what people would normally consider a cult. We're very independent, and cults aren't. So then there's witchcraft, and as far as that goes, the definition in my mind could be earth-based folk magic. A witch could take an herb, throw it, or a leaf from a nearby plant, and imbue it with an intent that she has, and throw it into, say, a running stream or something like that, and then that would help her to achieve some kind of need that she has in her life, or a need for the environment or something like that. That's how witchcraft works. We don't summon spirits usually. Sometimes witches might summon an elemental, or they might call upon nature spirits, which some call fairies, to aid them in magic. There's a very loud cicada above my head, if you can hear it. Anyway, but that's fairly uncommon. Usually witches use their own power and the power of things such as the earth, the sun, the moon, sometimes even the stars. But it's very natural. It's not supernatural, hardly at all. Let me see. We don't call upon angels and demons. That's ceremonial magic. A lot of us don't believe in stuff like that. We believe in neutral nature spirits, if that at all. Also, most pagans and witches don't believe in Satan unless they're Christian witches, which is okay. But belief in Satanism, or belief in Satan is not, it's not even a question in paganism, really. It's just, it's kind of irrelevant, really. But witches they don't worship the devil. They don't call upon the devil's powers to do their work. They focus on themselves and the powers of the earth. Also, we don't have any special powers. We don't fling fire from our fingertips or levitate objects or anything like that. Some of us might have some psychic inclinations, but anybody could have psychic inclinations. We just choose to hone them sometimes. But we're not supernatural at all. Witchcraft is not a religion. Wicca is, and a lot of times the two get confused. Wicca is a form of witchcraft, however, it's been mixed with a lot of ceremonial magic, a lot of other things other than what would be considered traditional witchcraft. A lot of people believe that it is traditional witchcraft, but honestly, a lot of the origins of a lot of the really common practices within Wicca can be traced back to less than 200 years. So it's a form of witchcraft, but it's not the only way. There are many other pagan religions and pagan practices and practices in witchcraft that have nothing to do with Wicca at all. And witchcraft has been around for a while. Wicca has been around for roughly 60 years, maybe a little bit more. So don't let anybody tell you that in order to be a witch you have to be initiated into a coven that has a Gardnerian or Alexandrian lineage. That's just dumb. Now, that said, like I said, Wicca is not the only way. It's just one way out of many that is right for a lot of people, and it's a great religion, but honestly it's not for me, and I know that I'm still a witch. You don't have to believe in a god and a goddess in order to practice witchcraft. It's definitely a practice and not a religion, and it doesn't have to be dogmatic if you choose not to. A lot of people do, but that's alright. I guess that about covers it. I'm sure there are a lot of other things that I haven't thought of. If you can think of anything you want me to address it, then send a comment below and I will try to get to your questions. I love feedback of any kind, so just feel free to send me a message or leave me a comment, and if you like what you see, then send a link to a friend and pass on the word. I guess that's it. So have a great day.